Welcome to Hart, where we talk about games, movies, and shows, young and old. And today we're talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. I saw Deadpool and Wolverine last night, and I actually liked the movie. I thought the movie itself was, like, I don't know, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was fun. There was so much surrounding the movie that really pissed me off. Like, the movie wasn't even out yet, and there were already just clips of it online everywhere. I guess I don't want to ramble about that too much. I'll be here for days because the actual movie, honestly, a lot of fun. I see that the internet very quickly turned on it after it came out. It was pretty funny seeing IGN. They're just flip-flopping all over with how they talk about this movie. They just do not know where they stand on it. With a very common complaint of being that they use cameos at the expense of good story. And I don't actually think that's true, considering a lot of the characters they say are cameos are not even cameos. Like, they are supporting characters. So we've gotten to this point where the word cameo is just any character that's like a familiar phrase from somewhere else. And that's just a cameo, even though this character is in like 40 minutes of the movie. It's like, that's not really a cameo. Like, they are supporting characters. Like, it's a multiverse movie that I actually think is done well. They address, because, you know, it's Deadpool, so they can kind of address the fact that it's a multiverse movie, and they can address certain things that the audience is worried about, like, oh, are we going to be sullying the grave of Wolverine? And they're like, well, kind of, but I'm going to leave it at that. Well, kind of. But they honestly don't. Like, they really don't. I was one of those people who thought, oh, okay, well, this definitely cheapens the end of Logan a little bit, but it just doesn't at all. I honestly really liked the way they dealt with Wolverine in this movie. It felt good. Like, he really shined. He had a lot of good moments. It just felt good. It didn't feel like weird and cheesy, and it really didn't feel like a cash cow type scenario. It honestly just felt good, natural. And I think everyone else does a good job as well. I actually like that the character who's like the villain that you're not supposed to like has probably the most exposition, like does the most just fucking talking to you, explaining shit, which is great because it makes you not like that character even more, because you're just an exposition box who I'm not supposed to like, and I don't like you. so it works out, honestly. I saw complaints about that, and it's like I went into this movie after seeing all of these clips and then all these complaints, and then I went in and was like, no, that was like pretty fun. The same people who were saying the cameos were cheap, like to tell the story, were the same people who wanted Multiverse of Madness to have like Iron Man variant, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, you know, they wanted all these fucking characters in that movie. And then, well, Deadpool and Wolverine kind of does that. I don't even think they do it that excessively, to be honest. But they have like a handful of characters that are in there that are, you know, familiar faces. And it actually make it make sense why they're there. And it just feels way better. Like, this is just Multiverse of Madness, but so much better, honestly. And the action is so cool. Like, all of the action's really good. There was one part that looked a little weird. It was like a slow-mo pan around a bus. You'll know when you see it. It like looks very heavily CGI. That's the best way to explain it. Well, all the other stuff actually looks like really good. The action's awesome. The whole opening scene is fucking sick. And even the soundtrack that came with it. Like, I'm not a huge fan of, like, I like original soundtracks, songs made for the movie, but the way that Deadpool kind of uses it, specifically in this movie, it's very much of like my generation. Like, there's a fucking Avril Lavigne song. The opening song is In Sync, you know. Bye, bye, bye. If you go and look up that song right now, they changed like their original music video, the NSYNC music video. They changed the title, so it says NSYNC Bye 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 from the movie Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, that's how big it is. Is that they changed the title to it, and now their song is back in like the top 20 or something like that on Spotify or wherever. Like, that's kind of crazy to me. That doesn't really have anything to do with the movie. I just kind of thought that was an interesting little fact. Now, of course, the movie isn't perfect. It's not some, you know, deep thinking movie. You're not even going to really be thinking afterwards. You're just going to be like, oh, like, that was fun. It's not like it's going to make you really think that hard, but it has a lot of good moments. It's pretty fun. The action's great. Seeing some characters again was a lot of fun. Big spoiler. I'm just going to give a huge spoiler right now. Just give me like 30 seconds. They do the Fantastic Four characters so fucking dirty in every movie that that isn't a Fantastic Four movie. Why do they murder them like that? Why do they do that? Why do they do that to my boys? Why do they do that? Yeah, I love the little fake out they did with Chris Evans, because they do bait you. They show Captain America a lot to Deadpool to show him that, oh, he matters, you know, you're going to matter too, because you're going to be so important. And then we see Chris Evans, and right off the bat, you're like, oh, that doesn't really seem like Captain America. And then it turns out it's not, and he flame on, and he Johnny Storms, and then it's pretty sick. Short-lived, that mind you. Yeah, but all in all, I thought it was fun. I thought it was enjoyable. I'm trying to kind of think of more without spoiling too much, giving too much away. I really do wonder if they're going to keep Wolverine around, like for more movies. It kind of seemed like they might not, like that might be it for him, but a little open-ended, I will say. I don't think I'd actually hate that because of how they established it. The fact that I even care this much, that I've kind of talked about all this the way I am with like the characters and how it was really cool for Wolverine and cool for Deadpool, it didn't sully, you know, the end of the Logan movie. The fact that I even care about this, I think it should say a lot, because I don't fucking care about any of these movies anymore. Like they're just not for me anymore, you know? And like it's Deadpool. You kind of know what you're going into. Like, let's be real here. I would love to see Deadpool and Spider-Man. I would love to see that. That would make me so happy. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, continuing off with Spider-Man, to keep ranting about the cameo thing for a second. Like the Spider-Man movie, Far From Home, or whatever it is, when they have the multiple Spider-Man in it, those are not cameos. Those are supporting actors. Perfect example are Stan Lee. Those are cameos. He is just there for like a second. He may have like a line of dialogue, maybe even a little paragraph of dialogue, but like that is a cameo. And this Deadpool Wolverine definitely has cameos, but people say, but I guess it's just bothering me. Like this word cameo is now being umbrella termed for characters that aren't cameos. They are supporting characters. And that is my TED Talk about that. All right, so there's that. We got a lot more where that came from. Just came up with another Elden Ring video, some more, both the back-to-back Elden Ring videos, actually. This one, I like that thumbnail in this one. Got the nah, I'd win. Got the you know, if you know, you know. Really happy with how my Crab Souls video turned out. I got some more essay-like videos going here. And then my movie, anime, and game reviews going here, which I keep saying I gotta dial up on more because I keep watching animes and not reviewing them, but I really should. Well, that's all for me. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and we'll see you on the next one. Chimichangas.